be strong in this time, son. I'm a survivor. I will survive. I will survive. And I'm a firm believer. We'll forever shine just to stay alive. That simple means it. Nobody can hold me, man. Nobody can change my energy. Nobody can hold me stick. I will not allow negativity. Nobody can hold me, man. Nobody can change my energy. Nobody can. Nobody can. Everybody show me some strength. No weakness. Show me a lion. Strength. No weakness. Show them who we are. Strength. No weakness. Show me a lion. Everybody strength. No weakness. Show them who we are. Not when you're old. Your enemies, they must tremble. Your enemies, they must tremble. Yo, not when you're old. Everything has to humble. Everything has to humble. I'm a go-getter. I just go hard. I just go hard. And I'm a kind of fella. Put my trust in God. Put my trust in God. That simple means say nobody can hold me, man. Nobody.
This is Ridealong Live, where everyone has a story to tell.
Strong in this time, son. You gotta be strong in this time, son. I'm a survivor. I will
Hey,
survive.
Ride Along, welcome to Thursday. Welcome inside of the ride. It's Thursday. Yeah. Start a watch party and say I share. Start a watch party and say I share. Let me do the same thing as well.
Nobody control me.
Hey, all the survivors, boy, today. Let me just share it on my page right here. Guys, today we're going to have a conversation. Yeah, today we're having a conversation. Me, you, I have two very exciting guests that I'm going to introduce to you. Both of them you've seen before on Ride Along, eh? Very insightful guests. They're going to be joining us. But you, we want you to be a part of this conversation today. Very important conversation, guys. So go ahead and share the program, put it on a page and say, I share. Yolandi, how you doing, baby? Hope you're doing well. Deanna Winter Fun Day. Hold on. Before we get into the business of the thing, before I start shouting all you out, all you have to share the program and start a watch party and say, I share. Let me do it right now. Yeah. Let me start a watch party and say, I share. Big up to the folks that's watching us over on Unstoppable TV. Big up Unstoppable. Big up to partygrenada.com. The folks watching us on KG9. Big up yourself. The folks that's watching us on Ride Along Live. The folks that's watching us, they are, we have a new station, a new TV station that picking up our feed as well. I have to get the name right. Before the show end, I'll big them up as well, huh? All right, let's go in. Yes. Black shirt with black tie. Yes, Lacey J. Only you that can recognize something like that. You like it? You can see it? I'm surprised that you can even see my tie. So damn dark in here. Aisha, Selector Vibes. Are you doing? Big up yourself. Let me see who first on the inside. Lacey J on the first on the inside. Just share it and say I share. Just share it and say I share. Sasha John. She hashtag cancelled. Me? What did I do, Sasha? Deanna, where are you? Indra, how are you doing? Fletcher Clement, how are you doing? Everybody share. Everybody share. Everybody share. Everybody share. Everybody share. Everybody start a watch party. Denise, big up yourself. Thank you so much. I'm all black today. Blackout. Everybody, everybody share. If you see someone that didn't share, just tell them share. Mavis Joseph, thank you so much, Mavis. How you doing? Thank you, Mavis. Love you, Mavis. Oh yeah, I got you, Mavis. I got you. All right, guys, here's what we're gonna be talking about today. Now, a video released last night, right? Before we talk about the video release, let me first say and put a disclaimer at the top of the program. Now, this program is not an indictment on anybody, right? We're still operating under the presumption that every person is innocent until proven guilty. We do understand also that there are multiple sides of a story, all right? There are always multiple sides of a story. By understanding that, it still doesn't mean that we cannot speak of one side of the story, allowing that side to be told, that story to be told, and then, of course, wait for the other side. The other side will come out, and we will also give that other side an obligation, opportunity to be heard as well. So before we put out the program, I put this out there and I said that we're going to do this program. And I got a lot of backlash. People say, oh, you're always doing stuff like this. Why ride along, always jumping on stuff like this, always taking the woman's side, always taking one side, and we never hear the other side. Now, let me make it verbatimly clear to everyone. On every single occasion, we do always reach out to the other side for their word or their side of it. Sometimes people opt not to respond or not to reply. But in the case where that happens, it doesn't mean that we still cannot articulate on a particular case. The story has to be told. Everyone have a story to tell. And just like how we're going to be speaking about this story today involving Major Hype's ex-girlfriend and her story that was put out today, that doesn't mean when Major Hype or if Major Hype decide to put out a story, that doesn't mean that we're going to ignore his side of the story. We're going to equally give his side of the story a chance to be aired. But this story broke today, and it's hard for me to understand. It's hard for me to comprehend any excuse, but we'll still give the opportunity, however. But it's hard for me to comprehend what really happened in this situation here. Now, let me break it down. A young lady who is said to be, who put out a video, she didn't mention any name whatsoever. But folks know her as Major Hype's girlfriend because he do a lot of posts on Facebook, on Instagram. He posts a picture from time to time. The video alleges, right, an abuse of various types. She talk about physical abuse. She talk about all sorts of abuse. She even mentioned in one of the videos that allegedly he pulled a gun on her, right? And all of these allegations was made in the video. Now, it is hard for me to comprehend all of these things because it looks very much as what we've seen on the program before, where we have abusers or victims or survivors, not victim abuse survivors who come on the program and share the story. It looked eerily familiar, to what we've seen prior on this story. So we brought a list of panelists who you know very well, one of which she is from the top 5. Her name is Hermelyn Marisho. She is a coach, and she also has a very large group of women who are survivors as well, and they help people to get out of domestic violence situations. Just Hermelyn is going to be chatting with us, and we also have Rachel Charles. Now, Rachel Charles is going to be chatting with us, and Rachel Charles, she is a coach. Let me. I know they sent it to me. A freedom coach, and we're going to find out what a freedom coach really is when we start talking to Rachel Charles, and we're going to dissect the video, all right? Also, talk to women, and they're going to empower women as to what to do. What are some of the warning signs that we need to look at in situation like that? Again, let me say it right from the top. We are not judge and jury in this case. We are not assuming to be judge and jury. We are only reacting to a particular video in this story that came out today. So with that said, let me go to our panelists. Let's start with Hermelyn Marisho.
Hi, Julia. Thank you for having me. I'm good. Still here
I don't,
enjoying my vacation-ish.
yeah, if it's ish,
Yeah,
it's kind
my
of like a
work
vacation, but not
vacation.
really. Yeah, I got you. I got you. So how you doing today, Hermelin?
I'm good. I'm good. Well, I'm good now, but I'm gonna tell you. After I watched that video, I was really like I was shaken a bit today, like really shaken
Right.
after I watched it because I saw it last night just before I went to bed, and I watched it 3 times before I posted on my page, and I was like, what? Because I was looking for a name, I was trying to listen to see if she was going to mention a name at first, and I was like, what? Like, what is this? And then I went to somebody else's page, and that's when his name was mentioned because that person knows him and her together.
Right. Right. Well,
So,
we're gonna talk all about it. We're gonna get into the nitty gritty and the inside bit sides version of it. Rachel Charles, we've seen you before.
Yes, I
You
have.
did an appearance on the top five. However, you know, I've heard that you're scared to come and ride along, but we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about that later. You don't have to worry about that thing. I got you, Rachel. I got all the viewers. All the viewers. They sometimes would say certain things, but they are respectful people 99% of the times. Right? They're good.
It's always that 1%.
They're always the 1%. But don't worry, we got you. We got you. So Rachel, welcome to Ride Along. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me back on.
Absolutely great having you. And I see your colleague Diane Winterfunde. I see Yolandi
Hello.
Blackstar is on there. I'm Hermelin. They're cheering you on. They're supporting you.
oh yeah, okay. Hi
Yeah.
guys, hi Ziani, hi Yolandi. Oh, you love to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, they love to hear. They love to hear. So let's take a look at the video that we're speaking about. This video was the one that was released last night, right? Again, this is Major Hype's ex-girlfriend, and that's the video that she released yesterday. We'll play a small piece of it and we'll come back and chat about it. Check this out. She took a. All right, there we go.
Everyone. Hello. Hello. Um, so I am going to start this live off with an apology to my family. I want to apologize to my mother, to my son, to my sister, to my niece, to my friends. I detached myself from the people that love me the most for a long time.
All right, we're gonna stop it right there because it's very important. It's very important that we understand how she start off the video. Rachel, we'll start with you, right, as a freedom coach. From her introduction and from her start, what do you get from the story that she's about to tell?
When I heard her first thing was, I want to apologize to my friends and family, I just thought, wow, she's already started to do a lot of work. I wasn't too happy that she had to apologize because nobody has to apologize for being in that kind of situation and going and living that kind of life. But she recognized that she was kept away from friends and family. She recognized maybe years of lying to them and, you know, acting as if everything was okay, not telling them the whole story. And she felt the need to apologize. She put her son in there, she put everybody in there, and also thinking of what's been put out afterwards as well, where her character now is being smeared, whether whatever happened, like people say, you know, there's how many sides to a story. But when she opened it that way, I thought, this is a woman who is making steps in the right direction and has started doing a lot of work in healing, because right now, whatever happened, she is going to have to build so many bonds with her family to get back into, you know, into their trust, into having that open relationship that she may have had before, but lost over the years.
Right. Hermelin, what's your take on the start of first apologizing to a family? What's significant about that?
First, when I saw the video, I looked at her body language first. And you could see, like, there was like a fear, like, starting to tell the story. Like, so I saw it as, okay, when I saw she started to apologize, I was like, okay, so this is the first step, isolation. So he isolated her. So now she's apologizing to her family that, I'm sorry that I was isolated from you. I sorry that you didn't know the truth. I sorry that, this was going on and none of you guys couldn't help me at the time. I didn't allow you guys to help me, or he didn't allow you guys to have access to me, whatever she was saying at the time. And I just saw it as a bold move for a woman, because I was like, this is a woman who is sick and tired, sick and tired of the abuse, sick because the emotional abuse, the physical abuse, or whatever other abuse that she may have occurred in the relationship. So I thought it was a bold move, and I knew she was protecting herself, because any woman come out at a big platform like that, a social media platform, or just even call your friends and tell them what's going on, this is a woman that is actually scared as well.
Yeah. So I want to zero in on a particular aspect of it, right? The isolation aspect. How does that isolation aspect, and why do alleged abusers or abusers even go in the direction of isolation?
What they take that route because they know the plans that they have for you in the future, and they do not want anyone around you. So they will start. So if you have a aunt, a sister, a cousin that is a little nosy, that is a little like they read them, and then they will start planting, like for me, they will start planting seeds in your head, like, oh, like if it's Rachel, oh, I don't like how Rachel dresses. Oh, I don't like how Rachel talks to her husband. I don't like oh, Rachel is always coming over. I love, and they always want to. They have this thing. They always want to spend time with you. So if I make a plan with Rachel, is, oh, I was planning to take you to the movies. I was planning to take you to dinner. So of course I'm going to cancel my plans with Rachel and go with my boo, because I want to spend time with him. So it's like a gradual build up, and then you will see months go by, and then you realize like you haven't touched base with your friends or family in months. And that's when he gets that upper hand on you, because now you have who you're going to reach out to.
And the difficult thing with isolation as well is they will start, like Homelin said, I experienced that as well. So it was, oh, you're going out with your friends, I was going to take you out. And then so in the future, when people start inviting you out, you start declining those invites because you think, oh, it's
Yes.
Friday night, Saturday night, he's gonna invite me out, so I better not accept that invite. And then people stop inviting you out. But what's happened now is that instead of him telling you, oh, I was going to take you out, because you started declining those invites, you have started imposing those restrictions and living within those restrictions yourself. So when you turn around now and say, oh, I want to go out, or, I didn't go because, he'll be like, I didn't tell you not to go. You
Exactly.
turned down the invite, So isolation becomes something that he puts on you by making you feel guilty. And then afterwards, you start putting it on yourself because you think, oh, I'm in a relationship. I can't keep going out with my friends. I need to spend time with my boo, So it is something that becomes part of your life before you even realize what's happened.
So
oh yeah, that is so true. Before you realize it is like 6 months gone by, because I know it happened to me. And as you said, yes, we start turning it down because we are hopeful, because we are thinking, he's going to invite us out that Friday night or that Saturday night. Then he's going to turn it around and say, oh no, I didn't tell you couldn't go.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be nice about it. He's not going to be, so it's manipulation. He's manipulating you during that period. So he's gonna, so you're safe, and you think like, and you're dependent on him, and it may not even depend on him financially. It could be financially, because narcissists, they love a big lifestyle, so they might be paying the rent, they might be taking care of you, giving you everything that you want. All that is just to make you feel secure, so they could do what they need to do later.
So you say that they create a cocoon of security,
safe zone,
and they break you off from the other support that might be around you, like your mother might be a strong support. Then that you don't need to be around that, because I want to be your support. You should rely on me, and I'm the person that would prop you up. I'm the person that could always be there for you. How does that that type of abuse, physical abuse, correlate with financial abuse? Or does
Go ahead, Larry.
or does it have a correlation at all?
It can be. So with isolation, it may also mean, I'm the provider, no woman of mine should be going out there to work. So I'm going to look after you. So you're going to be taken out of the work setting. You may be given money and you think, oh, it's lovely. He works, he looks after me. And so I don't have to work. I don't have to worry about anything. But when the abuse starts, whether it's physical abuse or whether it's just straight emotional abuse, which I say is worse sometimes than physical abuse, you have nowhere to turn because you probably have no savings. You have no money that you can say, okay, I'm even going to get a cab to get to a hotel to get away, or, jump on a plane or a bus or something to get away. So financial abuse is something that creeps in. So either you're denied from working, or if you are working, it could be, so in my case, I was working, and we were both working. However, 90 or even more % of my wages went on everything because he was not contributing. So in my stand, it was, financially, there wasn't much I could do because by the time my wages landed in my account, the mortgage was paid, the gas, the electric, the water, you name it, everything that happened in a house was coming out of my account. I didn't have much else to do. So even if I did want to go out with my friends, it would be, well, I've got shopping to buy and stuff like that. So, I can't, there's not much you can do because you are financially constrained in that way. They either make it very hard for you to hold on to money, or sorry, I was just hearing a noise there. Or
Yeah.
they make it hard for you to go out there and get money.
Yeah.
Right.
We see a couple comments that's coming up there. Guys, we want you guys to be a part of this conversation. 718-701-5720. Again, we're not judge and jury in this particular case. We were discussing what was released today and about yesterday and today. So we're not this is not saying that or basically convicting him to be guilty of it. This is an allegation, a serious allegation, mind you. It's a serious allegation. This type of allegation of domestic abuse, and she has a lot of evidence to back it up. So we are waiting and see what Major Hype is going to come with. How he's going to defend himself, what he's going to put out, where he's going to go next with his allegation. Now, again, we try to reach out to members of his management team. No one responded, although they read the messages, but we're sure that they will get back to us with some kind of response, right? Before we get into the other part of it, guys, I want to talk about where does abuse start? Because a lot of people think that abuse start when someone, and not only men abuse women. We have to also disclaimer that women also abuse men.
Yes.
Right? We had a just last week, where a couple of weeks ago, where we have this woman, she was abusing her boyfriend, she stabbed him and all of that stuff. So not
yes.
But where does the abuse start? How does the abuse start?
Well, the abuse don't start immediately, Junior. It starts gradually, and that's where we start. It starts with isolation and manipulation and control. And once he gets you into that little web of his, and he feels comfortable now, he has you in his control. Because not all narcissists are physical abusers, some will just use mind games to just keep you in the relationship. So for example, for me, mine would be something like, I would hear something like you have the kids, like no man is not going to want you with kids, like you're spoiled because you're back home they used to say, oh, once you have a child you're spoiled, no man is going to pick you up with a child. So that was used on me a lot. Or he might say something like oh, I'm so happy to have you in my life, you're so beautiful, you're so this. So he gas you up, and then and then the next day or two he might be like, yeah, and then he will talk, no man is not going to want you with a child now. So it's like you're kind of stuck with me. So that is where some of the emotional abuse comes in. So you start thinking, well, I heard my mother say that, I heard my auntie say that, I heard my grand-aunt say that no man is going to pick you up with kids. I'm actually hearing people in my present life saying, behave yourself because no man is going to pick you up with a kid. And he's saying that, so that have to be true, as I said, my abuse was more emotional. So I don't know. I can't tell you where the physical abuse will start for someone. Maybe someone else could share light on that. I only experienced 2 actual physical abuse from him. Was the first time when he slapped me, and the last time when he choked me, and that's when I decided to get out. So in between that, there was not really like no fighting and anything, you know. That's the part I don't talk about. My son experienced the physical abuse, because I don't know, because I did use a lot of threats from my grandmother, like I will burn you with hot oil, I will do this to you. So I think he was scared of that, because he thought I was actually going to do it. So I probably would have done it probably. So I made a lot of threats for myself, but so he moved the abuse from me to our son.
Right. Oh wow. Well, we're gonna talk about that. Let's play another part of that video, and get you guys' reaction on this. Check it out.
I owe you guys the biggest apology. What I've been going through, the average person doesn't go through that in a whole lifetime. And I've been keeping it a secret for a long time. Hiding abuse is a full-time job. You have to detach yourself from your loved ones so they don't know. And I did that for a long time. I protected someone that abused me for a long time. Tonight is about my healing. Tonight is about me taking my power back.
All right, I want to stop it right there, because there are a few things that I want to be sized and talk about. Why would a survivor say or feel the need to protect the person who abused them? What's the urge? Why?
It's not even that simple. I don't even know where to start with that. Where I probably would start is looking at this thing called Stockholm syndrome. I don't know if you've heard of that. Where if we go back to what we spoke about a moment ago, where this is the person who has promised to love you, to, you know, be there for you. Mine was, you know, it was me and you against the world. You know, my parents weren't happy with my relationship, so it was, you know, don't worry about them, it's me and you. And then that person starts abusing you. You kind of want to make sure that you show that you were right, and you don't want to go. There's a lot of embarrassment, there's a lot of fear. And so when all of this is happening to you, you do kind of turn around and think, right, I can't just show this to everybody. I can't let them know what's happening to me. And you cover up. You do a lot of covering up, because you don't know, number one, you don't know how your family are going to react if they find out, because you think maybe the abuse is going to be worse. Number two, you think, okay, this may not last forever. This may just be a blip, and it's going to change. It's going to get better. And, you know, if I expose all of this now, then, you know, maybe I'm messing up a good thing. There's so many different reasons why you protect that person. And as well, if you are in fear. So for me, I just thought to myself, if I ever got out of this, I don't know if I would get out alive, based on some of the threats that I had and some of the things that happened in my relationship. You cover it up because you just think, I don't want to blow it up because I don't know what his reaction is going to be. So there's so many different reasons why you end up protecting that person.
Yeah, interesting. Kibbs is saying here, abusers often make the victim feel like they're responsible
Yeah.
for the abuse. Sometimes some they internalize it as
Yeah.
their fault. Hermelin, why the protection? Why is the urge? What's the urge to protect the person who is blatantly beating you?
I think most victims at the time, you go back to that period of that honeymoon phase. that period where he treated you nicely, that period where he was, you know, buying you stuff and he was really loving on you and he was really taking care of you, and there was no at least you didn't notice any red flags at the time. There probably was, but you didn't really notice a red flag. He wasn't physically hitting you or anything like that. So when the table turned, first of all, the victim goes into shock. It's like, so then that's how we come, what did I do? Because for the last year or for the last 6 months, everything was fine. We were going to the movies, we were hanging out, we were going to parties, we were really having fun. So now you start evaluating yourself like, hey, what did I do wrong? So you want, as Rachel said, you're trying to protect him now, thinking now, well, okay, this is going to blow over. So I don't want to expose him yet. I don't want to expose this and then I have to go back, because I know he was nice and really good and very romantic for the last year. So what happened? What changed? And that's when, as Kirby said, they will make you feel responsible. So you might be, they might start complaining about the way you're dressed or the way you have your hair, or you're walking too much, you need to stay home to take care of the kids. Something will come, and then you start blaming yourself for what he's doing to you. So different women cover it up for different reasons: shame, guilt, you're just embarrassed. Like, who wants to go tell your friends and family that this is happening when the person already showed this nice side to your friends and family, and they have him in a box, like thinking he's a good guy? And then no, because I know when I was telling people bits and pieces of things, they used to tell me I'm crazy. Like, oh girl, you have a good man, he's not hitting you, you're good.
Yeah.
So
and you said something there again, which it with what expounding on a bit, right? Social media has kind of make people create this kind of fantasy, right? So you would take picture of your family, and like you guys in the best of times, you would show the good side, but you ain't gonna show the bad side. You're not gonna
right.
show the bad thing. So everybody look up to you as you are this type of person, and then you become that person. You become that person who, people expect you to be on social media. So how difficult is it to have a social media presence, especially if you are a known figure or someone that is outside of, you're big, or you're very much known on social media? How difficult now is it to manage a relationship that is already exposed on social media?
As a victim?
Yeah, as a survivor, because you're protecting double things. You are protecting your image and the person's image. You are protecting the fantasy that you created or might be created of you on social media. You're not going to show on a regular day. You're not going to show your black eye. You're going to show everything good, everything perfect, your hair well done. So the fantasy, you become the fantasy, and you try to live up to the fantasy, but it's a difficult thing to maintain, and you don't want to let people know.
I
Go
would
ahead.
say, I would say you live a double life. And I would say a lot of what you put out on social media, I can only speak about myself. So for me, I don't have a massive social media following, but I do have my friends and family on there, and every once in a while I would post pictures. But I always wanted to build my business as a life coach. However, because I was in that relationship and living this double life where everybody thought that I was relationship goals, and everybody was telling me how lucky I was, but inside I was just doing that silent scream of, please God, somebody get me out of here. I couldn't go out literally, I couldn't go out on social media saying, be like me, do this, I could help you. And I wanted to be able to work with people from an authentic and transparent place. And so that halted and stunted my growth in my business for a long time, because I would put up a picture of us together, like, all of here, you would see smiles, but my eyes would be totally dead, all the vacant eyes. And you can see those people. Look at your friends' pictures. You will see who's happy and who's not when you see the vacant eyes. But in terms of other aspects of my life, I couldn't show up. So it's difficult, because you do live this double life. I work in the criminal justice system, so I'm a senior probation officer. And for all of my years in probation, I was in an abusive relationship. Nobody at work knew and I was working with any crime you mention it, I've dealt with it. And I was sitting across the table from victims and sitting across the table from perpetrators, holding domestic violence cases, sitting in those meetings, helping victims come out, talking to perpetrators. Nobody at work knew what I was going through. So you learn to live that double life. But if you want to, sorry, go on.
No, no, I was just saying, wow.
Yeah.
You know, and I, you know what, I think you guys are the perfect pair to have on the program today, because it's not like you guys don't never live this life or understood what a potential or a survivor is going through. I don't like to use the word victim. Survivor.
Right.
Um, you guys understand this firsthand. You didn't get this from a book, or you didn't get a certification from some kind of college. Probably you did, but you know this stuff firsthand. So it's very important that people understand, because there's a lot of people watching, and half of the people that's watching right now, probably more than half, or probably less, who knows, some of them are going through the same thing.
Between us, I think
Yeah.
between me and Hamelin, there's nearly 30 years experience of firsthand living with a narcissist. So you've literally got it from the horse's mouth here.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, want to also remind people, narcissists are master manipulators, and they use gaslighting to gain control of the victim. So it is very hard for a woman to get out, because he has already programmed her mind that this is what it is. So for you to get out, you have to like have a whole different mindset to even get out of those type of relationship.
Yeah, the get out part we're gonna touch on again, because I think the get out part is a big question. A lot of people say, "But he's beating on you, he's stomping on you. You see black eye." Because I even have a picture. I even have a picture, and this picture, I just want to say a disclaimer before I post a picture. Is a picture that was posted earlier, I believe, of alleged abuse. Again, there's no way
Right.
we could confirm that that is happened from the person, but it's an alleged allegation. This is a picture that was posted of the young lady's eye. It looks pretty bad. It looks bad. It looks bad. It just looks horrible.
Yeah.
And when you look at yourself like this, or your friend look at it like this, and they say to yourself, "But look at my eye." The next thing he might do is pluck out the next one. And I'm not saying that he would. I'm not saying that he alleged to do that. But I'm just saying, what makes you want to stay in that? Don't answer that yet. Don't answer that yet. Don't answer that yet.
Okay.
That's a big answer for coming on later. Let's go back to the video again and check out another
Okay.
piece of that. The video that was released today. Check out another piece of that video, guys.
No longer protecting the person that has been abusing me. I'm ashamed because I let it go on way longer than it should have. I'm ashamed of myself because I went back so many times. All the reasons that I went back, it wasn't good enough. They weren't good reasons. I went back because me going back meant that I loved you, or I was proving that I loved you by coming back, or that I loved the kids, or just trying to prove people wrong that I'm not a gold digger, that I really am here for you. But all of that stops now.
Yeah. All right. She says all of that stop right now. And she spoke about getting out and getting out and getting out. So let's touch this now, guys. Why can she just pack her bags and say bye? You bust my eye the first time. You ain't gonna bust it again. I ain't gonna allow you to bust my mouth next time. Why stay and let it happen 5, 6, 7, 8 times?
That's a great question. That's a great question, Junior. Fear. You stay because you fear you're fearful. Because at that time you build a life, you build a life together, and just as how he released the tape, you could have been fearful of that at that time. You might have been fearful of starting over. You might have been just fearful of just what he could do, because you living with him or her. You know them the best, so you know they could flip at any time, and depends on the type of narcissist you with. As I say, some are abusive and some are not. Some are emotionally abusive and some are both physically and emotionally. So, and you build I know for me, for one time, I know, I wanted a family. So I went back or stayed for like status reasons. Like, yeah, I didn't want to be a single mother raising any children out there, because I just felt like that was, coming from the Caribbean, that's like, that's not what your parents wanted for you. So that shame and that guilt of like not keeping your family together. So it's like, let's try again.
Wow. Rachel, why go back after all of this?
I endorse everything that Homelin said. um, yes, there's a lot of shame. There is fear. There's a lot of promises. Homelin spoke earlier on about that honeymoon phase. So when you fell in love with this person, you got into this relationship not because they were abusive, but because they romanced you, they wined and dined you, and you felt this was somebody that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with. And if you're brought up, as most of us are, to keep a family together, that whole in sickness and in health, even if so, and for better and for worse, even if you didn't take marriage vows, you remember that and you just think, okay, so maybe this is the bad times. You don't just throw away a relationship. I need to work at it. And especially if you're thinking, okay, maybe there's something I could do if I did this more, if I did that more. He's crying. They are men who will come, and men don't usually cry. If they come to you on their knees crying, you're going to think, what on earth has made this man cry? I need to be more understanding. Let me go back and make this work. And when you remember the person that you fell in love with, it kind of overshadows all of the black eyes, because you think, okay, that was just a blip. He was stressed. I didn't do this properly. I didn't do that properly. If I don't do that again, then it will be fine. And I can have that future that we were planning together.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
because they will come back and say, I love you, right? I want this family, right? I want us to grow old together, right? I don't want no other man coming in this house raising our kid, right? So then they come back with that apology, and it's like, yeah, I don't want another guy to be raising my child. I don't want this to happen. I don't want, and then and as some women, like, like, you're comfortable, like, you're not rich or well off, but you're financially comfortable. So you don't want to. I know for me, I didn't want to start over. That kept me there for a while.
so
Like,
is that the major stumbling block? The fact that starting over is oh man, I gotta meet somebody again, I gotta date again, I
I had
gotta
to
go
kiss
to
somebody again. Like,
with
oh
somebody.
God.
We got to go through the phase with all of that. Go and take HIV test before and all of this stuff. You don't want to go
Yeah.
through that, and
That
especially
whole dating thing and having somebody say, I'm never going to treat you like how he did. And it's just like, I don't want to have to weed through all of that and figure out, is this one lying to me again? At least I know what I have with this one, you know? So,
And then remember, Junior, in the dating scene, in that honeymoon phase, you already spoke about what you want and what kind of family you want. So he has a lot of information on you, So he know you want that family. He know you don't want to go back and live with your sister. He knows you and your mother doesn't have a good relationship. He knows you and your family is at war. So that is gonna keep you there too. Because it's like, I'm gonna just stay here and have my little family, because as Rachel said, because we want to build this life together, and we don't want to start over. That's one. I know I didn't want to start over, and I stayed for status reasons. That was my reason. I ain't even ashamed to say that.
right, guys. We're looking at well, hey, confession is good for the soul.
Yeah.
Guys, we're talking about the tape that was released last night and into today. We haven't spoken about the one that was released today. It's more damning on what Major Hype did. Now, the first video that she released that we looked at, she never mentioned Major Hype's name,
Right.
but she spoke about a couple exactly what you guys are speaking about now. She spoke about the same thing. She spoke about instances, and that's what she alleged, that he would stand in front of her and stab him, like cut himself. She mentioned that he pulled, and that's allegation again, that he pulled a gun on her, right? She made all this allegations against him, tearful allegations, and people would say, well, she's just trying to smear his career. And when you look at it, guys, do you see the genuine factor? Do you see that? Do you see that genuine heart? Do you see exactly what a survivor of domestic abuse is going through? Do you see it full genuine? Because I want to authenticate that's what it is. I have no questions that it is, but I just want to get it from you guys. You guys are the professionals.
When
Yeah,
I
because go ahead, Rachel.
No, I was just going to say, when I saw her speaking there, I saw somebody who was extremely scared, but
Yes.
somebody who was building their support system. And so that if anything happened to her, we knew exactly who it was. And that is something. And the first time around, she did not mention a name. So that was basically saying, we know what is going on here. Leave me alone. Let me get away and just live my life and get on with yours. Just free me. Let me be. And then what happened afterwards, we're hearing about a tape, we're hearing about other things happening after that. And then she named the person. So it is okay. If I was going to leave you alone, not mention your name, she did not mention his name. And now she mentioned it. And it is literally her protection, because it's like I said, if anything happened to her, everybody knows where it is. And she is, what you can see, she is very frightened, because nobody would come out on social media, especially where you've got such a big platform, and say this is what happened and say all of that stuff. And you can see that she seems to be talking from a place of conviction, and you can see that she is somebody who is scared by the way that she's talking. I know that from my point of view. I remember telling a friend of mine, if anything happens to me, don't look outside. You know, if the police are looking for somebody, and I didn't even mention any names, I said, it happened inside the house. Don't look for anybody else. And that's basically what she's doing.
You know, I'm looking at
Yes,
the, I'm
yes.
looking at, go ahead, Homelin. Go ahead,
Yes,
Homelin.
it's true. There is some authentication to what she's saying, because as Rachel said exactly what I was going to say. She's building her support group, and she's coming out in the public, and she's saying, if something happened to me, this is who did it. When I was going through my abuse a situation 20 years ago, there were no social media, but it was a diary. You know, I wrote in my diary many times, and I will tell my cousin things like, okay, if this happened, and my cousin was the person who was there, that was witnessing everything. But I know I wrote in my diary, like, you know, like to my parents, like, if something happened to me, do not look outside the door, you know. So when I heard her say that, I know she was scared. I know it's a woman who is tired and fed up of her situation, and she wants to get out. She doesn't really know exactly how she's getting out, what is going to happen to her, because leaving an abusive and relationship is the most dangerous part, because that person, remember narcissists, there are different types of narcissists. There are aggressors, there are authoritarians, there are those that just, you know, they just have the grandiose attitude and stuff like that. So it depends on what type of narcissist he is. She is scared. She don't know, because if he is one that abuses and he's obsessive, or you don't know what he's gonna do. So she's really protecting herself by coming out and say, this is what's going on. If something happens to me, this is where I need you guys to look.
Right. On this second video that was released today, earlier this morning, I want to play a portion of it. Guys, if you want to see the full video, we have that full video of both instances on our website. So after the show, you could go back and watch the full video of her statement. But I want to play back another part of it, because today she alleged that some sex tape were released. Somehow he has a car. She said that he has her phone, and some sex tape were released. Let's take a look at those allegations in her second video that was released earlier today. Check this out.
Okay.
Yes, video play. All right, here we go.
So I didn't want to speak about it again, but I knew that it was going to go here. And like I said last night, I'm not letting anyone put me into hiding or shame me under a rock. Now, instead of being a man, Major Hype, and apologizing publicly to your fans, to me, after everything that I said. Instead, you release a sex tape of me and are sending it all over the place, all over the world, a sex tape of me from 10 years ago. What do you think that that is going to prove? What do you think that that is going to prove? You think that that is going to make you look like a better person? Releasing a sex tape of me from years ago. You think that that's going to make you look like a good person? You think that is the answer? So people are sending me this tape left and right from years ago. And the tape, my hair is short, my hair is all black. At the end of my hair is red. You could, you know what? I don't even have to go into that. I don't even have to go into that. I didn't go into detail about what the fuck you did to me, but I'm not going to shut up. You're not going to shut me up and put me under a rock. You're not going to shame me. You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed for faking a heart attack, looking for sympathy. You should be ashamed. You broke my phone because you saw that I had all the pictures of my bruises and my face. You broke my phone, and now you're going through my phone and digging up old stuff from my old phone and releasing it to people. When does it stop? When do you take accountability and stop looking for sympathy? You're a sick, sick man, and I'm not keeping your secrets anymore. Every time you try to hurt me, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth. You didn't have no heart attack. You did not have a heart attack. Okay? Stop looking for sympathy and own your shit. Own what you did to me. I didn't post a picture of my black eyes and my bruises. You put me in the hospital. I didn't come out and say that. I made a general statement, and this is what I get. You releasing a sex tape of me. You're releasing a sex tape of me. Coming up to the end of it, you tried to kill me. You pulled out a gun on me. You pull out a gun on me and then turn around looking for sympathy and cut your arm in front of my face. Start slicing open your arm in front of my face. It's a sick game that you're playing, but I'm not playing a game. This is my life, and you're trying to ruin me. And I know the truth about you. I know who you really are. I know who you really are. I have a son, and you're going to put out a sex tape on me? You want people to think that I was cheating? Is that it? Even if I was, it's no excuse for what you did to me. It's no excuse for what you're doing, what you're still trying to do. And I'm not going to be quiet. You're not going to shame me. Send the sex wherever you want. Send it wherever you want. You still have to get up and look in the mirror. You still have to get up and look in the mirror. Nigel, you still have to fight your demons. So you could try to break me down all you want. God knows. God knows what I've been through. I'm too strong. I'm too strong for that. I took your crap for too long, and you still trying to give me the business? Sending a sex tape? Listen. I don't even want to come on here with that energy. I'm so furious. I'm so tired of you thinking that you have that power and control over me. I'm not going to be quiet. I'm not going to be quiet. Leave me alone. You have my phone. You cloned my phone. You download it to your computer, all my personal stuff. I was expecting this, for you to leak my nudes, for you to leak whatever it is that I had on my phone. And I'm still here, and I'm still saying I never cheated on you. Everything that you're putting out there is from years ago. Stop lying to people. Stop lying to people. Put your discharge paper out from the hospital. Put that out. Put that out. Let them see what they released you with, what your diagnosis with, chest pains, unspecified type. You didn't have a heart attack. Say you have a heart attack in the same night you get out. You want to fight me? You want to pull out a gun on me? Break my phone? Crash into my car? Listen. We're not gonna do this no more. We're not gonna do this no more. What you should have done was come on here and apologize and make a public apology and acknowledge and own up to the person that you've been and seek help. But you continue your narcissist behavior with releasing that tape of me. You're disgusting. You're a disgusting man. And everyone around you that's hyping you up, making you feel like what you're doing is right, that's not making you look better. You look like a piece of crap that you are. You look like a piece of crap. You're a sad, sad man. You're a sad person. And you're not going to fucking take me down with you. You're not. Send your sex tape. Do whatever you need to do. You're ridiculous. You're ridiculous.
All right. A lot said there. A lot said there. Where are you gonna start? Who wanna start with it? Rachel, you wanna go?
Yeah. All of the things that she described there, I mean, obviously it's her side of the story, people will say, but it is her story. And everything she described, so, putting out the tape, threatening with the gun, pulling a heart attack, cutting themselves, those are all traits of somebody who's losing that power and control. And when I look at her, when I looked at that video earlier on today, I just thought, wow, this is somebody who has pulled back the power. So I hope that she has a good support circle. I hope that she's getting counseling, coaching, and has that support around her. But those things that she describes are things that always happen. So it will be the begging, let's. Oh, sorry, I can hear feedback. It will be the begging of, let's make this work. And when that doesn't work, the person starts going crazy. And so it would be the self-harming in front of you. And that's something where there's a lot of men that would say, I can't live without you. You can't leave. I'm going to drink this. I'm going to do that. And women sometimes think, oh, it's because he loves me. No, that is an example of manipulative, narcissistic behavior, because you now sit there thinking, I better take him back. I better be with him because he's going to harm himself and it's my fault. Or I need to stay with him because he's got a gun pointed at me. Or, I'm causing him to have health issues. So what she described there is the typical behavior of somebody who is losing control of, a narcissist who is going into that spiral.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. So I'm not sure what's happened there.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear the feedback myself.
Yeah. Bad echo. All right.
Yeah.
Bad echo. All right. Chime in here a bit while we fix Rachel audio. Chime in here a bit, Hermelin.
Yes, exactly. This is exactly an example of a man who is losing control of the situation. He no longer have that power and control over her. So he's going to inflict all things on himself to gain sympathy. And because he already know you love him. So he knows, like, okay, she's not going to leave me. She don't want to take, she don't want to be responsible for my death, or my hospital stay, or for whatever trauma I may go into. So they know that is just a bait and catch. He's baiting her with that, so he could catch her back into the relationship, so she could come and, like, bring him back to health, and then he's gonna talk about he apologized, and then he probably gonna still say, you see what you caused me to do, it's because I love you, that's why I cut myself, it's because I love you, I pulled that gun because I don't want to lose you. And and for some women, they hear all these things and they still equate it to love, so they're gonna stay and they're gonna go back and they're gonna bring him back to to health, to where the relationship was, and then it's gonna happen again, and it's gonna be worse when it happens again. Because every time you go back, it's gonna be worse. It never gets to me, and from all the experiences that I have encountered from myself to other people around me, I never really see anyone get better, or anyone say, oh well, it's much better now than it was 5 years ago. It was just, some people just know how to cope, stay, and they just cope in it instead of leaving. But definitely she's pointing out some narcissistic trait on him.
Yeah. I looked at this picture, right? And I looked at other pictures of the young lady. She is such a beautiful young lady. One that you would think have so much self-confidence. Like, she's a beautiful girl. What could break her? Like I understand what you guys are saying, but when she look at herself, don't she see that beauty? Don't she, like what broke her? What break women and men down to feel like they're not beautiful? What the mirror is showing me, what I know about myself is not right. What you telling me is okay. How do they break that person down to that limit to look at themselves as unattractive?
Well, it could be just low self-esteem. it could be just lack of confidence, things that you as a woman probably is dealing with as an adult that you have gone through as a teenager. So if your parents didn't give you that type of love, or you didn't you just didn't have a nice secure home, you didn't grow up in a nice secure home, and this person is providing it for you, and they say they love you, and all those things, that breaks you down too. So it's like, oh my God, I didn't experience love at home. He loves me. Like, I'm gonna stay here. So because that person is loving on you and taking care of you, and then you don't already have self-esteem problems or lack of confidence in yourself problems. You might be looking beautiful, but the amount of people that probably told you you're ugly from the time you've been 10 to like 19, you kind of believe that.
I see. Rachel, chime in here.
Yeah, and one of the things as well is we're saying, what caused her to get in that position where, her self-esteem is low. And one of the things that I realize we never ask is what causes a man to do that. And I think sometimes we have to change the conversation around a little bit and stop putting the onus of the abuse on the victim. So yes, it could be, and I know for me it was, my self-esteem was on the floor because of different things that had happened for me, and I thought, oh, I'm not good enough, maybe I need to try a little bit harder. This was my first adult relationship, and I thought, maybe you need to do a bit more. So for me, that person caught me at a time when I was quite low and kept me there. However, narcissists do not go after people who have low self-esteem. They don't go after the ugly girl in the room, or what we might
right.
They go after somebody who has a spirit, and that's what they break. The reason why they go after somebody who may be articulate, may have a good education, may, be the person who has the good job and that kind of thing, is because a narcissist always wants somebody next to them who's going to make them look good. They're not going to go after somebody who's going to be in the corner and shy and all that kind of thing. They want somebody who's going to build up their ego, but they need to control that ego. So when they get that woman, they break her so that they can control her and have the person on their arm who looks good, who sounds good, who's going to make them look good, but they are under their power. And I go back to what I say. We always talk about, why do the women put themselves through that? Why are the men or the women who are putting men through this, why do the abusers put people through that? And until we start looking at the person who is doing it, this will never end. Because what happens is you get out of these relationships, these men or women who are having these traits, they don't change. All they do is they go on to another victim. And then that victim, we say, oh, why are you staying with him and he's doing this? You need to get out. And they go on to another victim. I know so many women. I know, maybe 90 or more % of the women I know have been in a relationship where they've suffered abuse. What I find hard to, you can't suffer abuse on your own. I don't know many men who turn around and say, my friend is an abuser. Because for every woman, you're being abused by a man. These women are not being abused alone. And we always look at, she should have got out. No, your friend who is abusing that woman needs to be spoken to. And so instead of always putting the victim in the spotlight, because remember, if you're in an abusive relationship, you do not have power and control. It's the person who is perpetrating that abuse who has power and control, not the victim. So
you're saying that real friends, men in particular,
call out your friends.
They need to call out their friends. They need to call out their friends. And I'm happy that you said that, because that's not a universal statement. Because a lot of people would say, okay, in many situations in the past, and I'm sure it would happen in the future, me personally, I get agitated by situations like that. I get agitated to see anyone take advantage of someone else, abuse or otherwise. This platform was specifically made for people to come and share their story. Specifically, that was the underlying factor for the reason that we started this platform. And I've always said, I have 4 sisters, and if anybody were to take advantage of my sister in that way, I would turn a devil. I have my mother that I love, and I have my sister that I love. My wife who's watching it right now, big up yourself, right? And I have a lot of respect for women that I cannot see myself lifting my hand to hit a woman. So it's not universal that all men feel that way, but you're right. More men need to speak out. More men need to come out and say, hey, you can't be my friend and abusing a woman. More men need to step up and stop defending men that does this crap. Me personally, it agitates me, right? And I think that we need to identify the traits of it, because it's not about the women being in a position, they're not doing it to themselves. Obviously, somebody's doing it to them. But then again, we have to also understand that men get abused as well. A lot of men get abused as well. But I just wanted to say that, but more men need to speak up, and I agree with you on that. Absolutely.
And another thing too, Junior, just for educational purposes as well, when you're dating a guy and you are talking, have the conversation of how they grew up, how they were treated, because a lot of narcissists stem from abandonment and rejection from when they were younger. So like my ex, he was abandoned by his mom when he was 4 months old, and he suffered a lot of abuse from his family, as how they say back home, an outside child, right? So they're not narcissists because they just developed that. It's something that happened. Something happened, men and women, because your mother could be a narcissist. Not only men are narcissists, your sister could be a narcissist. It's something that happened to them at a very young age where they did not have any power and control. And now when they're in the situation, they build in their mind, okay, I'm going to do this. I may start a business. I may get a degree. I want to have all these things up here so I could have the power and control, and no one is going to control me anymore. And then we as a woman, we are the ones who get the backlashes of the backlash of these unresolved childhood traumas.
Yeah. So it has to be traced back. A lot of times they say
Trace it back.
If you know better, you do better. And I believe that. If you know better, you do better. And also, hurt people hurt people.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I think that when you look at when you flip through all the layers of the onion, you will get to find out possibly this person who was abusing this other person is because they were abused as a child, or they witnessed the mother being abused and they didn't have no problem. They didn't like it, but they grew up being a part of it, right? But here's another question I want you guys to take into consideration while you answer this next question. Why is it that some men get into a relationship and they would abuse that woman, and then they would get divorced, move on to another relationship, and for life they would not abuse that other woman? What make one woman abuse or get abused by the same man but not in the other relationship? Is it something that the woman allow, like not allow, but kind of don't nip in the butt before he gets to the next point? How does that work?
It could be. There's lots of different reasons, and it could be. Some women, as I said the last time, some women, a lot of us, we see the red flags and we paint them green and we let them get away with lots of different things. Other women may see it and, like you say, nip it in the bud. So when they get in that relationship with somebody else, they think, you know what, I can't do the same thing that I did with the other person. Maybe the financial abuse, maybe the name calling, maybe that one just picks me up on someone. So they may just leave that person, or they may just, line up and be on their P's and Q's with this other person, and not do the same kind of behavior that they did with someone else.
Yeah.
Also, Julia, remember there are different type of narcissists. So because of the different type, that person might be in a relationship where he probably just want love to be loving, and that woman is loving to him. So she is giving him what he wants. So he's probably not going to abuse her because she is giving him that love and attention that he wants. So the different type I think goes, you know, if he's abusive, he goes from he leaves you and he will abuse another person. But if he's not abusive and he's looking for that love or that attention or whatever he's wanted, if that other woman is providing it, most of the time he's not gonna react because he's getting what he wants. Because with my ex, he's somebody, when he was like, I want you for myself. He didn't want to share me with kids. And then he's with a woman who kids are grown, and they're fine. They've been together now for 20 years. So
yeah,
she was giving him what he wanted.
And it's the harsh reality of it, because I've heard the stories before where a woman would come out and say, well, or she would come on the show and accuse someone else of abuse, and then there will be a whole echo chamber in the chat saying, but he never, or the wife or the current girlfriend might be like, he never abused me. You a liar. So it makes the other person look as if they're not telling the truth. And sometimes that is the hardest thing that I've seen. Guys, we've been doing this program for about 4 years now or so. And the hardest thing is for somebody to leave and come on a platform and share their story or tell their story, especially as it relates to domestic abuse. The shame you have to overcome is like you have to show your face to the world now. And I can see the fright in some of our guests before they come on. And sometimes they come on to share the story, to help someone else or empower someone else. And you have a whole, as I said, echo chamber chastising them. So they've been double victimized. They come on here and they get victimized again. So I could understand the pressure that this young lady went through just by coming on a platform and sharing that story. I completely understand. But I want to talk about going forward, because there are a lot of people that's watching us right now and they're saying, boy, I've gone through this, or I'm going through this, or I know somebody that's going through this. How could they work from hearing this message to potentially planning an exit strategy?
I think Homelin's talking, but she's on mute.
Yeah, go ahead, Homelin. Unmute.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was up. Yeah. Not all women could plan an exit strategy, have plan, because if you're in an emotional abusive relationship, you have more room to plan. If you're in an abusive, depends on what happened that day, you just have to run to go to a shelter. But I have like 5 exit strategies that women can use to go. First of all, you have to make up your mind. You have to say, I am leaving. You have to be committed to the cause. I'm leaving, I'm ready. And as I said, tell one person. Even if you don't want to tell her, at least let one person know your exit strategy. Come up with like a plan. If I say I need you to braid my hair, that is our code word, that I am ready to get out now, that something is happening in the home and me and the kids are getting out now, and this is the plan. So you probably would have gone through, like with my cousin, you would have probably gone through like what you're gonna do when that time comes. For some people, as I said, take copies of documents that you have. Take the copies of documents. Conceal your intentions from your abuser. Please, ladies, don't go around like, oh, I'm going to leave you. Oh, I have another man. Oh, I am da-da-da. Do not give him any leeway to plan something against you before you even leave. And I know I did it, and I did it because I didn't know about narcissism at the time. So I did it for like, oh yeah, I have somebody else. Oh, I'm gonna, because I'm saying, oh, let him prove that he loves me. Like if because now he's gonna come back nice. Oh, you wanna leave me? I don't want you to leave me. So that I feeling good, like, oh, he loved me. I don't even have an exit strategy. I'm just talking out of my mouth. But so if you're really gonna leave, please do not throw out waste words like, hey, I'm going to leave for this, I'm going to leave for that, and leave in silence. Leave in silence. Save yourself, because you don't know, that person may have never hit you before, and that day you say you're going to leave, he probably going to freak out because now he's losing power and control. You are leaving him, and he is probably saying, his mind is going, oh, she don't love me anymore. So, a lot of women end up dead because they spoke too quick. So that's what I'm going to say. My own is,
Rachel?
Yeah,
I echo that. The most important thing is to have a support system. Don't think you can do it on your own. And like Hamelin said, just one friend, even when I made up my mind that I was getting out, it was one friend. I met her for lunch and I said, I'm out. And what that did for me as well was validate what I was going to do. I said it out there, I put it out into the universe. It's like, I've said it now, I have to do it and I have to go through it. And that one person, you know, that one person may be the person who you let hold your passport or, you know, important documents, just in case, like Hamlin was said, you might have to run in the middle of the night. You know, you may have to give that person stuff to hold, but, you know, have an idea of where you're going to go, what you're going to do, and zero silence. Zero silence, is that even a word? But, you know, just no contact. Zero contact was what I was trying to say. So when you get out, don't be looking there for the messages, because he's going to start freaking out. And, you know, the whole cutting yourself and threatening and all that kind of stuff is going to come. You know, they're going to want to get you back to have that power and control. Block them. Do whatever you have to do. Don't check certain emails if you know that that's where they're going to find you. Come off Facebook if you need to, or lock down your profile. But the best contact you can have with a narcissist or someone who is abusing you is zero contact, if you can do that. And, you know, just start healing and working on yourself. So if you know that you want to get out, yeah, it's that support structure. Have people around you, because you can't always do it on your own. You could do it, but it's going to take a lot longer and it's going to be difficult, especially if you want to get away physically from that person.
Yeah. You're right. You know, someone messaged me and they said to me, "So what? You guys ain't going to talk about the sex tape?" No, we're not going to talk about the sex tape because it's not important. It's not important we talk about the sex tape. And I just, one thing I'll say about it is, if the allegations stands as it is, what type of person release a sex tape of someone that they're with? Like who does that? That's all I'm going to say about it. Obviously, we're not going to show it. We're not going to post it. But someone just messaged me and said, well, you're not going to talk about the sex tape? It's not important. The fact of the matter is, guys, I want to make it very clear that this is not a referendum. Well, this is not an indictment, I should say, of Major Hype, but instead it's looking at the allegations. He was accused of abusing this lady, his girlfriend. She posted a video and we're looking at it in bit-sized pieces. But that doesn't mean that if Major Hype comes up with his version of the story, because we do believe that he probably does have a story to tell, all right? We'll air it just the same. But the allegations against this man at this moment is damning. It's difficult. You know, we're not indicting him, but it's difficult. Allegedly beating up on a woman like that, where she had to post pictures and her eyes are black and blue and red and all kind of different things. Not a good look. Especially, well, not especially, but the fact that you're in the public eye makes it look worse, because it's magnified. Everybody know who you are. Everybody see you doing positive stuff. Just imagine it for me. If somebody come out and tell you guys, I am this abuser, me talking all this positive stuff, right? It's gonna shock people. So, by the way, I don't do those things. I'm perfectly, I I could vouch for myself, and everybody could vouch for me. But at the end of the day, guys, Rachel said it quite right. Men need to speak up about these things, and I am going to continue to speak up about this. Whether it's man abusing woman, whether it's woman abusing men, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. And I'm going to put my name out there, put my voice out there to talk about it and shame anybody that does it. Anyway, time's up. We gotta wrap. Hermelin, last words.
Last words. I wanted to kind of just address Karen Alexander. He said, living in silence. He said, madam, you're just gonna be hit, especially if there is children. So you can get killed. And yes, that is true. But what is her alternative? Stay and get killed, or try to leave and be safe for her children? Every case is different, and every person is going to go by case. But if a woman is ready to leave, she has all the right to leave, whether she has children or not. Her safety comes first. And if the man is an extreme abuser, yes, he may go after her to kill her, because I have someone I know that happened to her. He tried to kill her 6 months after she left. But that is where you have to have a strong support group, and you have to go out and you have to get help. There is help out there. There are help out there. Women just free to go out and get a help. There's organization that will help you. They will move you to another state if need be, so you can be safe. So I say protect women, protect yourself. Be an advocate for yourself. Don't get scared like what Karen is saying there, that, oh, well, he may kill you now. Protect yourself. Advocate for you and your children. It's better to take a chance and leave than to stay and die.
True.
That's
Positive
my last
stuff.
word.
Positive stuff. Rachel.
My last words, just know that you're not alone. If you are watching this and you don't know, what your next steps are, reach out to somebody. And if you think your friends and families may tell you, oh, try again, I'm here. Harmelin's here. There are so many people here who can help you build a plan. Just a month ago, I helped a friend get her stuff and get out, and he didn't even know what was coming. You are not alone. So don't think that you have to suffer in silence. I sat there for 19 years before I got out. And, it doesn't have to be that long for you. There is a lot of help out there. And, there's so much more life to live. And when you get out, the freedom that you experience afterwards is immense. So don't sit there in silence thinking that this is all there is. There is life outside and on the other side of abuse.
Yes, there is life after abuse. Yes.
Life after abuse. And Hamelin, give her that information for your group so women could join.
Oh, yeah. Yes, guys. So if you're a survivor or a victim, come on and join the Caribbean American Survivors Empowerment Group. Over there, we share our stories. We talk to each other. Some people have even partnered up with each other in different states or different countries, just to have accountability partners so they could talk about the issues. You may not want to tell your story on the platform, in the group, but most people inbox me and tell me their story, and then we work together and we empower each other. So if you know anyone who just left the relationship or who is looking for tools on how to leave the abusive relationship, join us over on the Caribbean American Survivors Empowerment Group, and Rachel and I are over there.
Right. So Rachel, they could find you over there as well, right?
Yes, I'm over it as well.
All right. Thank you guys so much. It's been a pleasure chatting. And Rachel, you can come anytime. We're not that bad, right? We're not that bad. Right? Come and join us sometime. We love you.
Rachel is going to be with us on Sunday on Top 5 again.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, wow. Rachel
I ran from the comments, but yeah, they were safe tonight.
Oh, you were safe.
Pretty safe. Thank you, guys. I got some final thoughts, guys. I got some final thoughts. But let's take a commercial break and I'll come back with my final thoughts.
Hey, I got some good news for you. Looking for a passionate immigration lawyer with experience that spans over 2 decades? Someone trusted that served immigrant families just like yours? Well, look no more. Now you can benefit from her personal and professional experience. Diane Winter Funding. Schedule a consultation now and get assistance with your immigration journey. Specialize in adjustment of status, B1 business visa, B2 visitor's visa, consular processing, deportation defense, naturalization, and more. Give us a call today at 813-815-3529. That's 813-815-3529 or online at winterimmigration.com. Attorney Diane Winter Funde. Law done differently.
Hi guys, so I wanna reach out to men. First of all, let me speak to you. Friends of abusers. You know they say that friends don't let friends drive drunk. Friends don't let friends abuse their wife, their girlfriend, or the significant other. So if you are a man and in full extent of what a man's supposed to be, you wouldn't allow this type of behavior to happen and share this type of behavior on. If you know someone who is involved in those type of domestic abuse, put a stop to it. Talk seriously about it. Or in fact, there is a lot of things that you could do as a friend. You could counsel, you could find out what the real problem is, you could talk to the person, or it comes a time that you might just have to just separate yourself from that person. All right. We have to make sure that we are a brother's keeper, but not when they're doing good. When they're doing bad, we have to make sure that we talk to them as well. Also, abuse don't only start when someone is thumping you and cuffing you and kicking you down. By that time, it already reached about the fourth stage. Sometimes abuse, domestic abuse, start by sometime when somebody telling you, don't wear this, or don't wear that, or don't do this, or don't do that, or you really gonna do this, or you really gonna do that. Those type of psychological abuse starts from there. And then it progresses, and it goes into stages until you reach to the stage. By the time you get in kick and cuff and thump and punch, it's far gone. It's 5 steps ahead. So you have to learn to identify abuse at a very early stage and nip it in the butt. Nip it in the butt. Let the person know you can't do that. I'm not going to allow you to do that. I'm not going to allow you to do that, right? Don't think of it as just like it's fun or it's games. No, it's abuse. Nip it in the bud before you get to another level, another stage. Guys, if you are in a relationship right now and you're being abused, you could join Hermelin's group, Caribbean American Empowerment Group. I'll get a whole name and I'll post it in the chat. So you guys should join that group and find some strength, find some empowerment from others who have the shared experience. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, we're here. If you guys ever have a story to tell, we love to have you guys on the ride. Call us, inbox us, and let us know your story. Sometimes your story don't only have to be in a public platform. We have a lot of people. We have counselors. We have people that could talk to you in private. Even Kibbs, she's a part of our support group as well. We have a number of people in our support group that can help you, talk to you one-on-one, and just help you. Just be a voice. And sometimes, people might say, well, they will just encourage you to get out of the relationship. Sometimes there have to be some mutual, some kind of counseling that could be done. And that probably could work for some people. All right. So they're not going to tell you, oh, get out, run fast. No, sometimes that is not the ultimate reaction to a situation like that. All right. So, guys, we have support. We have assistance. If you're going through it, speak to someone, speak to a counselor, contact us, and we'll try to help you as best as we possibly can. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. And guys, also, if and when my friend Major Hype do decide to speak on the topic, because he have not released anything as yet, I haven't seen anything, but as soon as that happens, we're gonna put it out there as well, because we wanna ventilate on all sides. All right, we wanna hear what he has to say. He might come out and say, well, he admitted and he needs help, and take some time out and get some help. Let's hear what he says. All right. So again, that's where we're going to be looking and posting that information on the Ride Along page. Peace out. Good night. Ciao.
Nobody can change my energy. Nobody can. Yo, just show me some strength. No weakness. Show me a lion. Strength. No weakness. Show them who we are. Strength. No weakness. Show me a lion. Everybody strength. No weakness. Show them who we are. That's when you're old. Your enemies, they must strength.
Guys, we got to big up Mega Force promotion. Super Sunday. Waggity virtual bingo. $25,000. Yeah, $25,000. Big one. Wow. $25,000. Somebody's going to win $25,000 in the Waggity bingo. Ticket costs only $20, $20 US, and you can win $25,000. It happens, all goes down on Sunday, the 20th of December. Wow. It's coming up soon, so you got to get your tickets right now. Get it at Go to Fet. Get in the Mega Force Super Sunday virtual bingo.
Everybody strength. No weakness. Show them who we are. That's when you're old. Your enemies, they must strength.
Hey, you. Yes, you. Yeah, you and you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Do you need a production done? Quality video production for your family event or otherwise? Give us a call. Ride Along Family, Ride Along Live, Ride Along Video Production, professional video production. Give us a call right now. The number you call is 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. Call us right now if you're having a wedding, a virtual event, a live streaming. Ride Along Family could take care of you. Call right now for more information. 718-701-5720. Ride Along Live.
I will survive. And I'm a firm believer. We'll forever shine, just to stay alive. That simple means it. Nobody can hold me, man. Nobody can change my energy. Nobody can hold me sick.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.